Welcome to another Baby Theater. Today, we're going to be talking about Blue's Clues. Yes, indeed. There was one day, a man named Steve. He owned his own house, which was pretty cool for the time. But there was a dark secret that Steve had. Yes. You see, he had this basement that he didn't talk about a lot on the actual show, Blue's Clues. But it was there. It said, "We're gonna go to the basement. We're gonna go in the basement. We're gonna go in the basement and make sure there's no clues." And you see, the thing that would happen was he would get Blue to find all the clues. And Blue would be like, "Burr, burr." And Steve would be like, "Where's the clue? I don't see it." Burr, burr. So Blue was like a forensic investigator, really. And he found all the key clues. It was crazy. But that was one of the biggest things that let Steve get away with a lot of stuff, is he would just have Blue find all the clues for anything he did incorrectly or wrong, and he'd make sure to make them disappear. On the show, he said, well, Blue find the clues to solve the mysteries, right? But really, the basement side of it things was that he would have Blue find these clues to hide them. Now, one of the things that was one of the big mysteries of the house was there was this furnace down there, and it was pretty crazy because there was all kinds of stuff that Steve burned. He burned clothes, he burned fingernail clippings, he burned some documentation, his tax documents mostly. But one thing that he really needed Blue's help with was bones, bodies, just any kind of frogs. He would burn in there. He would burn doctors, a lot of doctors. And that was kind of like his thing. He liked burning doctors in the furnace. And, but Blue's job was to find all the pieces that could connect him to any kind of wrongdoings, you could say. And Blue would be like, "Burr, burr." And Steve would be like, "Where is it? Where is it?" Of course, there's dental records that Blue was like, "Burr, burr." "Oh, there. Where are the dental records? Where are the clues?" All right, we're gonna burp. And Blue would be like, "Burr, burr," every time. Yeah. Yeah. Burr, burr. So, but one of the biggest clues was this revolver he had burned a long time ago, but it actually belonged to someone else, and he had forgotten to scrape the serial number off. So, give me a burp. Give me a burp, buddy. And Blue was like, "Burp, burp," There's a serial number. There you go. Good job. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Good job. Ah. Yeah. So that was that. And then so yeah, Blue found a lot of clues. But he actually had one incident where the police came looking at his house. A few missing persons is a little bit too many. In Steve's basement, and they came looking down there. And guess what? They didn't find any clues at all, because Blue had already found them all. It was crazy. It was crazy. And one of the biggest things was like Blue would even hide stuff that a lot of things really you couldn't even see. Blue would be like burr, burr, blood trail, burr, burr. And Steve would have to make sure he cleaned it like thoroughly, because luminol, you could find that blood stuff, but if you do it right, I guess, like Blue says, burr, burr, so if you do it right, I guess they can't find it. And that's what Steve did. And he just kept doing it right every time. Every time, all the time. Because every time, he would always consult Blue. And Blue would be right on the ball. He'd be like, burr, burr, there's a clue. Now, but one day, somebody actually managed to escape, and they actually went to court and sued Steve, and they were like, "No, he's in there killing people and other things, but he's over there doing bad stuff." And Blue went out of his way, and he was like, "Burr, burr, burr, burr." He found all the loose ends to make sure that this story couldn't be corroborated at all against him. And so Blue managed to hide all that. Even like he'd be like burr, burr, and he'd go to somebody's house, and Steve would go over there and be like, "All right, what'd you hear?" And they'd be like, "Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? What's going on?" And he would make sure that they were on his side. And so, by the end of it, yeah, okay, is it all? Okay, by the end of it, they by the end of it, everybody that was going to come forward to witness was like, no, Steve's a great guy. Steve's awesome. He hooked me up. Really, he gave me he gave me a bunch of stuff. He gave me these Blue's Clues videos. I mean, how can you go wrong with Blue's Clues videos? And stickers. He'd love to give out stickers too. And I mean, if you're only gonna be a witness, and Steve's like, "Dude, here's some stickers," you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, give me them stickers," I don't want to witness anymore. And so so it ended up going to court, and Steve was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And of course, all the witnesses were like, "We don't know what you're talking about either. Steve's a great guy. I've known him for years, And, the next thing you know, like, the court was like, I don't think we have a case here. There's really nothing going on. Even the police said that this guy has a great record and never had a problem. And we've been to his house multiple times and checked everything up and down. And there's no clues for anything. Never any clues, And if anybody's going to have clues, it's going to be this house, because it's Blue Clues, And, they never found anything in the basement or anything like that. So it just goes to show, sometimes you can just be really, really good at finding clues. And that's the kind of person that you want on your team. So pretty awesome. No more? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Blue is just awesome. I mean, the really best dog. Best dog ever, I would say. Burr, burr. Like, she's just like, how can you stop? How can you stop her? She's just gonna find all the clues, and good or bad. You know what I mean? Like, good or bad. Sometimes she solves mysteries, like better than Scooby Doo. Sometimes I think, because I mean Scooby usually kind of tries to run away. It's really the rest of the team that's doing their work. I mean, if you don't mind me saying, but yeah, that's how it is. So Steve, never got in trouble, and Blue is just best dog. Epic.